I wanted to really start talking about a duo that we have. So for those of you that color your hair, I'm sure you've heard that a lot of shampoos have sulfates in them, which sulfates actually are what we put in products that are going to make them suds up.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's not that they're a bad thing. It's just that they can strip your color a little bit faster, or in a sense, make your color fade a little bit faster. So for those of you that, you know, wearing some of the fashion colors that we still see as a trend, you may notice that when you use certain shampoos, you'll have a lot more hair color come out when you do wash your hair and in the shower. So I am like so in love. We have a duo that's a sulfate-free shampoo, and actually it comes with the Color Shield conditioner. You can get these right now. I was just on the website for 50% off. Both of these together are $24.95. Now you can get them separate too, but I just wanted to share that it's a better deal to get them together, and they work really well together. The other thing that sulfates kind of get a bad rap for is some people can be sensitive to them. So me, myself, I am actually sensitive to sulfates. And so when I use shampoo with sulfates in, I kind of get like an itchy scalp.
Okay.
So if you do get that, it could be where you are maybe sensitive to them as well. So it's not only for people with colored hair, it's also for people with sensitivities to certain things as well. So the thing about the sulfate-free products, and this is any shampoo that you use, they just don't suds up as much because they don't have the sulfates in there.
Right.
So what I really recommend people doing is put it in your hand first, and then just get a little bit of water. Like when you're in the shower, just put a little water in your hand and emulsify it really good. Make sure your hair is really, really wet. And then you can start kind of working it into the hair, and it'll suds up a little bit more that way.
Okay.
The other thing that I noticed is, like, if you go long in between shampoos, which I do, I only shampoo my hair once or twice a week.
Yeah, me too.
You may have to shampoo twice because there's just more oils and things that it has to kind of work. So kind of think of it this way: with shampoos that have sulfates in, because of that sudsing action, you don't have to do as much manual work with your fingers and your hands. With products that don't have sulfates in, you have to work a little bit more. So really get down at your scalp and just make sure that you really kind of cleanse your scalp good.
Yeah, sometimes I'll even pair it with the scalp scrub for that reason, because I feel like if I'm washing it first, it's maybe getting rid of all the dirt and grime, and then I really want to treat my scalp because I only wash, like you, maybe once or twice a week. So.
And the scalp scrub's a great product because if you are using sulfate-free shampoo, you might not be doing that good of a job, and so you might have a little bit more buildup on your scalp. So rule of thumb. So I kind of mentioned like washing your shampoo or washing your hair. And most people that I would see in my salon, so for those of you that don't know my background, I've been a master cosmetologist for 26 years. I actually owned my own salon for about 13. And so my background mainly is hair. It's only been probably the last 10 years that I've focused more on skincare and cosmetics. So a lot of the people that would sit in my chair, most of them were washing their hair way too much. So in general, your hair will produce more oil, or your scalp, I should say. Your hair doesn't produce oil, but your scalp will produce more oil if you are shampooing on a regular basis. Like some people wear once or even twice a day, and they're like, you don't understand, like my scalp gets so oily that if I don't, then, you know, it just gets all kind of greasy and stuff. But your body will adjust. So if you are shampooing that often, it's going to produce more oil because you're actually like rinsing all of that away.
I don't know why I never put that connection together, because it's the same with your skin, and I have oily skin, and that's one of the first things I learned that helped me was don't wash your face incessantly, which I was doing, like washing in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and then never putting moisturizer on. And so I don't know why I never connected the dots, but that makes sense that for your scalp, for people who say, oh, you know, I have to wash my hair. It's so greasy. It's so oily. It could be because you're stripping it of its natural moisture, in which case it produces the excess oil, right?
And the thing is, like, right now is a great time to do it because a lot of us are kind of stuck at home in quarantine. So, you know, for some people, it kind of normalizes within like a week. Some it can take up to a month, but every single client that I would have do that, they're like, okay, you were right. Like, my hair is much, you know, better now that I'm not shampooing it quite as much.
So let's say someone has more fine hair and they feel like they want to wash it every day. Like, what would you recommend? Like, every other day or every few days? Or everyone should just be like once or twice a week?
Well, I would say for finer hair, I mean, you definitely, you know, might want to shampoo a little bit more often than somebody like me with a little bit coarser hair. So try every other day first. And if, you know, if you can, stretch it to every third day and just see what happens. Now, it's also going to depend on the products you use. So what's nice about the sulfate-free shampoo is it's very nice where it's not going to put like a lot of buildup on the hair. It's just going to be a nice, like, gentle cleanser as well. And, you know, it's not only that it's sulfate free, but what's really nice is it actually does have some conditioners in it. So it does add a lot of shine to the hair and it does condition the hair. So even though it's a shampoo, you know, don't think it's only doing that. It's actually has some great ingredients in it. So it's great for not, like I said, not only color safe hair, but also those that, you know, maybe are looking for something like that. And then the Color Shield conditioner, which it does come in boxes. And then when you open the box, obviously there's, you know, a bottle in there, but I just wanted to show you what the packaging was like. The ones that I use are obviously in my shower that are almost gone. So that's why I have some backup here. But I think I'm going to stock up because I'm like 25. I mean, like, that is like crazy. These bottles are actually 12 ounces. So they're a little bit bigger than the other Fix products. Let me just show you what that looks like. So what's great about the Color Shield shampoo or conditioner, gosh, I'm like, I'm like ahead of myself here. So what's great about the Color Shield conditioner is it actually does have ingredients in which are going to also protect the hair from fading. So the thing with conditioners is, and like, if at all possible, you guys, like, after you shampoo your hair, and like, it's best not to shampoo in like really hot water. I know it's hard to kind of use like cooler water, but if you can use like kind of warm to cool water, shampoo your hair, make sure you kind of like wring all of your hair out as best as you can. It's like a sponge, so it absorbs so much water. So what I do is the first thing I do when I get in the shower, I wash it twice, then I wring it all out so that there's no water dripping from it. And I'll kind of go back through and just kind of go like this, wring it, wring it, wring it, wring it, wring it, wring it, until there's nothing kind of like, you know, flowing off of it. And then I'll take my Color Shield conditioner and I'll work it into the ends first, because that's where we need most of the conditioning, is kind of at the ends. That hair's been there a long time, right? It started here, it grew
and it feels
here.
more dry. I'm glad I'm doing that right.
And then I'll kind of work it through the rest, you know, like up at the scalp. Then, because my hair is long, I actually take it and I'll clip it up in the shower like this. And I will leave that on as long as I can during the rest of my shower. So I'll shave and do whatever I need to do, and I leave that on as long as I can. It's giving it time to work. Everything can kind of like penetrate into the hair shaft and condition it and do what it needs to do. Now, the Color Shield conditioner, what I love about it is it does have rice protein in it. So usually a lot of conditioners are so heavy on the hair that they will weigh it down because of all the conditioners and things that they have in them. But what's great about this product is you don't have to compromise your volume. The rice protein actually makes sure that you still have some volume in your hair. So even for those with fine hair, it's a great product because you won't get that weighted down hair look that you're probably used to. So the other thing that it has it's an ingredient called Botansil ME14. And that is a multifunctional ingredient. It's a proprietary blend that helps protect the hair from color loss associated with, you know, washing your hair. Because anytime you use water, it's going to, you know, kind of fade that color a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But why I'm bringing up this ingredient is, if you actually Google it, there's studies that have been done with just that ingredient where it actually increases color retention by 400%.
Oh my gosh, wow.
400%.
So I have to say now, my hair, I'm quarantine hair, obviously, but my girlfriend that colors my hair, I hadn't seen her in like, I don't know, 4 months or something. And obviously my hair naturally is really dark. And this was in the beginning of the year, but I was using the Color Shield stuff, and I've been talking to her about using our products, and she's just like, maybe, maybe not, you know. But she was like, wow, I'm really impressed, like how long your color has lasted. And I'm like, yeah, it's this Color Shield stuff. I'm telling you, it's good, you know?
Yeah.
So she did, after that, she did buy some bottles, and she's been using it. But yeah, so I can attest to that helping for sure. And it doesn't get brassy, because usually like the lighter hair.
Yeah, and I mean that's just one ingredient in this product too. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I want to tell you guys is that one ingredient actually provides 50 times protection in luminosity. So it's going to give you that shine. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's huge, right? I mean, we all want shiny hair. I can't even tell you how many people ask me all the time. They're like, is that your real hair?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah. I mean, because I was an extension specialist, so I did extensions on clients, but this is all my real hair. Mm-hmm. And yes, I use heat on it daily, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's the hair products. You know, if you use good hair products, you're going to definitely see a difference in your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So I also recommend that when you are rinsing out your conditioner, again, using like as cool of water as you can stand. Mm-hmm. I know it's hard, especially in the winter when it's like we want to take these like hot showers, but like that is not good for your skin or your hair. Yeah. It will just really dry it out. So by using a cooler temperature water, it's actually going to close the cuticle on your hair shaft down, so all the conditioner and everything, you know, can stay in there and work well. So
does it work like, I think one of my hairstylists told me this before, where I heard the cool water thing. So I'll shower, and like for my body, you know, like I'm like all tense in my shoulders, so I want the hot water. But I'll leave the conditioner in to like, you know, do its thing. And then I'll just kind of like rinse my head with like, not cold, but cool water.
Yeah.
So I feel like as long as you're just rinsing your hair with the cool water, I've noticed that helps a lot too. And then this is maybe digressing a little bit, but how do you feel about combing your hair with the conditioner on? Do you feel like that's
I mean, that'll definitely make sure that it's distributing it evenly on all of the hair too. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Now for like curly hair or people with like wavy hair, it's best to actually comb through it in the shower, and then not to comb through it after you get out of the shower, after you know, you're going to style your hair, because it'll give a better curl pattern. Mm-hmm. And like by you doing that, think about this, like if you are, you know, you're washing your hair and then you're kind of rinsing that in cooler water, and then you have it up in a clip like I do maybe, and then you kind of turn up the temperature of the water, and it's kind of creating some steam, which is also going to help that penetrate into the hair shaft while it's on. And then by rinsing it with cooler water, it's going to close the cuticle down on the hair shaft. So yeah, that's a good thing, because anytime we can use heat with our conditioners, it's going to make it penetrate kind of deeper into the hair, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely. So the other product I wanted to talk about, which I feel like if people knew more about this product, they would just be all over it. And that's the Thick Hair Shampoo and Conditioner. So what's really great about this is it's for finer hair to make it seem not only thicker, but it will actually, it has ingredients, and I'll tell you about that, what that's going to do. So it has some stinging nettle extract in, which stinging nettle actually helps to stimulate the scalp and clean it really well. But it also, and this is right from the website, you guys, so if you want to like see all this information, just look up this product on shop.com. It actually provides optimum conditions for follicle rejuvenation. So what is that saying? It's going to possibly, it's going to possibly rejuvenate your hair, you know. So my husband uses this, you know, he's getting a little bit of thinning hair on top, and he uses this because, you know what, if it does kind of help with that, that's great. But I actually had all of my fine hair clients use this product because what it does is it almost like swells each hair shaft to make your hair appear a little bit thicker as well. So a lot of them actually have like even increased volume with using this.
That's cool.
So it's not just for men, it actually is for women. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about a study that was done. And again, you can Google this. It's information out there on nettles because it has that stinging nettle extract in. So nettles actually have the potential to block DHT. So for those of you that don't know about DHT, that's actually a metabolite of the main male hormone, which is testosterone, right? And so high levels of DHT have been linked to both male and female baldness. Okay, so sometimes when you go to like a hair restoration clinic, they're going to give you things that block DHT and see if that will help with your hair. So stinging nettles, there are studies out there that say that they do help with that. But beyond that, it has that hydrolyzed wheat protein in it as well, which is actually going to kind of be like a moisturizing and conditioning agent. So yes, it is a shampoo and conditioner. So for a lot of guys, it's perfect. They can just use this one step. But if you are a woman and you want like that thicker hair, you may have to follow up with a conditioner as well. It might not be enough conditioner, especially if you have longer hair. You know, usually men have shorter hair, they get it cut more often. So, you know, they can kind of go without a conditioner. It also has tea tree oil in it as well. So if you know anything about tea tree oil and what that does, it actually is great for kind of like soothing the scalp and making it kind of like feel cool and helping cleanse that as well.
Okay.
So have you ever like used this or like?
I do because like my hair is thin around my face. And so when I use that consistently, I definitely noticed a difference.
Yeah.
Especially pairing that with our beauty blend, which is a supplement that has biotin in it and a lot of other amazing things. But I started seeing a lot of new hair growth, like those little baby hairs around.
Yeah.
And I would do the same thing though, because my hair is more dry. So I felt like I needed the extra conditioner. And usually what I would pair it with is and you're probably going there at some point, but the hair mask, the Argan Oil hair mask. And again, I would just put it on the tips of my hair. I wouldn't really saturate my whole head with it because I felt like those ingredients were supposed to just be working on my scalp. So maybe it's okay, but that was kind of like what I told myself.
Right.
Like, just maybe put it on the ends, and that way, because you kind of feel it tingling, right? That tea tree.
Yeah.
So it's a little like pepperminty maybe.
Yeah, and that's the tea tree oil or the melaleuca that's in it. It's going to kind of do that. And like that's in a lot of like products for, you know, helping to cleanse the scalp a little bit too. If you have ever used anything with that in, it has a lot of great. Now, for those of you that are unfranchised owners, this product actually comes, I believe, in IBV and BV as well. So I know a lot of people think that it's for thick hair, but it actually is for like fine or thinning hair. Now, I see a lot of questions usually in the groups and stuff about hair loss. And like, honestly, there's a lot that they don't know about hair loss. And there's a lot of different things that can cause hair loss. So we can't like really tell people like, hey, this is going to, you know, fix your hair loss. Like, honestly, it's good to like ask them questions, but I always refer them back to their doctor. Like, have you had your thyroid levels checked? Have you had your D level checked? You know, those are all, if your body is off in any way, you might experience, you know, some hair loss and things like that. But it's always good to kind of tell them to go back to their doctor.
Yeah.
And stress can cause that. I mean, there's so many things that can cause it, but this is not, I mean, why not try it, right? I mean, it could definitely just even make their hair appear a little bit fuller too.
And did you say that, like, you have to use that on a regular basis? I'd assume, really, to notice results, because I tend to cycle through, like, depending on how if my hair needs extra moisture, I might do like a deep protein conditioner, which we'll talk about Royal Spa next. Or if it was just colored, I'll use the color shield. So I'm kind of always rotating, but probably if someone really wants to see a benefit with, if that product's going to help them with hair growth, consistent would be their best.
Yeah, I would definitely say consistency is key with this. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this product, but it just like popped in my mind, like we need to talk about that. But the Volumizing, let me just go to that. I have some notes here so that I make sure that I tell you all what I'm talking about, but I'm kind of getting a
spray, the Volumizing Boost Spray.
Yeah, the Volumizing Boost Spray. So like that is another product that I absolutely am in love with. And the Volumizing Boost Spray, you can actually use it in wet hair or dry hair. The way that I would actually have my clients use it, so this would be perfect for those, again, with finer hair, those that kind of want that volume in their hair. Like for my hair, it would probably give, I try to get some of my volume down because like my hair kind of gets like that. But the Volumizing Boost Spray, if you actually spray that in at the scalp or at the roots of the hair and then blow dry it, oh my gosh, the volume that you get with that stuff. And like the great thing about it is it resists humidity and lasts like all day. So I would have clients that were like, I've tried everything and like by the end of the day my hair is like flat. And that product, they would start, you know, using that instead, and they're like, okay, I don't know what's in that stuff, but it is so amazing. The other way that I would use it is I would spray it on dry hair before I would do like a volumizing roller set or, you know, something like that where I wanted to kind of get a little bit of volume. So great for like bridal and things like that. And what's great about it is it like washes out so nice. So like, I don't know if you've ever used products in the past where it's like, you would try to wash your hair and it like, you would still kind of feel it.
Build up. Yeah,
kind of a build up.
Like crunchy even sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like straw, like super dry.
Yeah, that stuff works amazing. So for all of your fine-haired clients out there, people, you want to use
I have
hair
to
shampoo
piggyback on that too. I noticed the same thing because I have finer hair, or so I'm told by my stylist, but it does have a lot of volume and texture or whatever. So it's very poofy at the bottom, and then it tends to be flat on the top, which is frustrating when you're wearing it down. And so I started using that same thing. Like I would, when my hair is damp, I would put a little bit of the Royal Spa gel in it, but then I would spray my roots with that Volumizing Boost Spray, and then I would blow dry with my diffuser, and it really just gave me a lot of lift at the root. And then I kind of sometimes would just mist it almost like a setting spray for your hair. I don't know if that's appropriate for that product, but I figure it's almost like a little bit of a hairspray too, but I like that it's soft and it doesn't have that kind of feel like you were talking about where it builds up and it's dry. I do know Lauren and JR love that product. Like I remember one time when we were looking at sales numbers, we were thinking like, this product's so great and it doesn't sell as well as we could. And then they, you know, the team was like, oh, should we find something better or get rid of it? And then like, I remember JR and Lauren like, no, that's not your products.
And that's what I think. I don't think people really know like how to use it. And if they did, they would just be like, oh my gosh, it works amazing. Because like I could not keep these products in stock with my clients, like the Volumizing Boost Spray and the thing. Because a lot of my clients did have fine hair. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I was good at fine hair. I don't know. But like to your point too, with you saying like, my stylist says my hair is fine. Like, like even though you have curly hair, it can still be, each strand can be fine in texture.
Right.
And so that like, I can't believe I didn't have that in my notes, because absolutely wonderful, wonderful product. I just love it so much. So if you know any fine hair clients, make sure you talk to them about it and see if they're willing to try it, because they'll love it too. So the next product I want to talk about is the Argan Oil Shampoo. And this one is more of in an 8-ounce size, so it is a little bit smaller of an amount, but still absolutely amazing. So the Argan Oil Shampoo actually contains Moroccan argan oil. And if you do research on argan oil, like how powerful and amazing and all the benefits of it, even for your skin, it's like absolutely amazing. And it has to actually come from Morocco, is where, you know, they actually get the best source of it, and that's what that is. So there might be other products on the market that have Moroccan oil in the name. We also have a product with Moroccan oil in it. So this does gently cleanse the hair while infusing the hair with rich argan oil and also aloe. So I'm sure we all know that aloe is really moisturizing to the hair as well. So great product for restoring dry, damaged hair. Now, my boys have kind of like that coarse, poofy hair. It's like not curly.
They both have amazing heads of hair.
Well, it's more like kind of like a wave, but like big. So they actually use the Argan Oil Shampoo because it does help with their hair, and just like almost because it's so coarse, it makes it not feel as coarse. So great for guys again too. It's not going to weigh your hair down, even though we think of like, oh gosh, there's oil in there, is that going to be heavy on the hair? No, it's actually not. It's just going to be just enough, you know, moisture, conditioning in there. Now there are sulfates in there, but I find that it does not strip the color out as fast as most other shampoos with sulfates. So you can still use it on colored hair. Just know if you have those fashion colors and things, that it could make that come out just a little bit faster.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter loves that product. She uses the Argan Oil Shampoo and then the conditioner, which I'm sure you'll talk about. But she has very thick, kind of like your boys, like coarse hair, very dry, and so it just makes it really nice and soft.
Hi. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I like to use that product too, but I'll cycle through it. Like I won't use it all the time. So, you know, I think for people that need the extra moisture, or they have that really thick, coarse hair, maybe using it each time is fine. But I kind of just do it when I feel like I need the extra boost.
Yeah. And I do like to kind of switch sometimes the shampoo I'm using, because I do feel like your hair kind of gets used to it almost. And like, I think sometimes when you just switch to another product, that it just, I don't know, it works better all of a sudden. And then, you know, so I'll go through one bottle of the Color Shield, and then I might use the Argan Oil Shampoo, and just kind of alternate that. I have them all in my shower, so I can use them all at any time.
I notice a little bit goes a long way also. So even though I find myself, I guess it is the sulfates because they foam up a little soapier, but with the larger Color Shield bottles, I notice I use a little bit more. I don't know if it's a mental thing because the bottle's bigger, but with those ones, even though they're smaller, I feel like they last a long time, and a little bit does go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also has silk amino acids in, which are actually used in a lot of hair care products because it gives the ability to penetrate the hair. So even, again, because it's a shampoo, we think it just cleanses and that's all it does. But no, it actually does go in there, and the silk amino acids can provide extra protection and shine without weighing down the hair. So they also have some antioxidant properties too. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of ingredients in, even though it's a shampoo. Yeah, so now I do want to talk about the Argan Oil Conditioner. So this, again, does have the Moroccan oil in, the Moroccan argan oil, and it does moisturize not only your hair and your scalp. You know, people don't realize your scalp is really important, right? Not only is it skin, but that's where all of your hair starts to grow from. So it's really important to maintain a healthy scalp. so that we can like make sure our hair follicles aren't getting like built up with, build up and stuff like that could, cause some issues down the road. So we do want to keep it nice and moisturized too. I know in the winter here, everything is like so dry. And, sometimes even I will get a little bit of dry scalp, which is different than dandruff. I know everybody's always like, I've got like a little like flakes. Is that dandruff? I'm like, no, it's just dry scalp. It's like your skin. Like when your skin's dry, you'll kind of shed like those dry skin cells. So, it's important to use things that are also going to be good moisturizers for your scalp as well. But this one also reduces tangles. It restores that dry, damaged hair. It also has aloe in it, just like the shampoo as well. So these two work really well together. And again, it's not going to weigh down your hair. So my boys, I prefer them to use a conditioner. They're not always going to because it's like another step.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes their hair a little bit more manageable and shiny and just, I don't know, just all over the look is better for it. So I know you wanted to talk about this one, and this is the Argan Oil Intensive Hair Mask. So a lot of people ask me, they're like, what's a hair mask? A hair mask is a deep conditioner. It's just another word for them. I know in the past, a lot of companies would say that hair masks kind of sit on the hair a little bit more while everything's penetrating in the hair. So this is definitely not going to necessarily be an everyday use or every time you shampoo. I usually, if I wash my hair twice a week, I will use this usually once a week. However, if I feel like my ends are getting a little bit dry, I'll use the Color Shield conditioner up here, and then I'll use this kind of in my ends. And I'll use both of them to kind of just make sure that I get a deeper conditioner. And this, oh my gosh, like I know it's kind of getting down there, but it is like a bluish purple color, but the smell, oh my gosh.
Smells so good, yeah. It's a little like, I don't know if musky is the word, but it's kind of like, someone used to tell me it smelled like pumpkin pie. I don't think it smells like pumpkin pie. To me, it smells almost like a men's body wash, sort of.
Yeah.
And it's I think, like clean and fresh. I don't know. It's really hard to explain.
It is hard to explain. Yeah, I don't know if it's not like flowery, which I'm okay with because I don't always really like flowery scents, but it is. I mean, like, it can be used again by all ages, men, women, doesn't matter.
Yeah, like when I'm not home, we've all been home, but when I would travel a lot, obviously I have a 3-year-old that you guys just saw, and then my other daughter just turned 10. And when they're little, I think most kids, when they're little, their hair tends to get really knotted, especially in the back where they lay on it, and they don't want it to. Both my girls like freak out. They don't want their hair to be brushed. It hurts, whatever. So anyway, when I wouldn't be home, if I brush their hair every day, it's fine. But if I'm not here to do that, no one's really brushing their hair. And then it would be a disaster. But my husband got really good at, like, when he would put the girls in the bath, he would just load that hair mask on their hair and he would just comb it with his fingers. And he was like, oh my gosh, that stuff works magic. And it does. And even when you rinse it out, like, there's some times where I don't overly rinse it out either. Like if it's really bad, I might dunk their head in the tub, but then I'm not like, getting it all out, and I'll just kind of almost like a leave-in conditioner. And it's just really nice. I love the smell even when you get out of the shower or the tub. Like, it just smells really rich and nice, and it's really easy to comb your hair through. So I find I use that with myself every few washes too, just to get, like, it just feels good, you're almost like when you do a face mask, you're just treating yourself.
It's almost like just soft. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it does have ingredients in which repair and smooth damaged hair cuticles and fibers. So I think most women that I know use some type of a heat on their hair, whether it's a flat iron, curling iron, blow dryer. People don't remember, oh yeah, I use a blow dryer, I guess it is heat. Yeah, definitely. So it's important to use something obviously that can repair that. Of course, getting a trim regularly is something that you should do as well. But it does have that Botansil ME in it. So do you remember when I was talking about that in the color shield? So that's also in here. And if you remember, it actually was shown in studies to increase color retention by 400% and then 50 times the luminosity. So it'll also have that ingredient in there. So absolutely amazing. So if you don't use a deep conditioner every once in a while, maybe that's something you should put into your routine, especially going into summer. I feel like because it's been a dry winter, you know, you might need to just give your hair a little bit of extra conditioner. And you can, like, if you even like want to just put it in your hair, and like if you have a plastic cap or something you can put on, and go sit out in the sun and let that heat kind of work a little bit on it too. It'll just penetrate even more, and you'll notice, kind of like a face mask when you leave that on for a certain amount of time and use a roll, you know, the jade roller over it. You know, you can do this at the same time and leave that in your hair, and just make sure that you're getting the most of all of those conditioners in there for sure.
I like the purple color, because I know like when I would get my hair dyed lighter, they would say use a purple. I guess opposite the color wheel would help with the color, I guess. Do you think that it would help people that have colored hair or not? That's
yeah,
not
I don't.
But
I don't feel like there's enough pigment in there to really, because I know people are kind of afraid sometimes, like, oh, is that going to affect? I mean, it could help. Usually purple is, the opposite of like yellow. So if you don't want your blonde to get too yellow, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to use it. So you could, you know, it'd be kind of, actually, maybe I'll do an experiment with that.
See if it helps like with color treated hair. Maybe but I agree, because I've used purple shampoos and conditioners, and this one, I don't think people need to be worried that it's going to be residual. It doesn't. I'm not sure why it's purple, to be honest. But
but I don't know. I love, that's like one of my, again, like I love all the fixed products, and but I mean, I'm getting low, so I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh, I have to order another one because I don't want to run out of that.
Oh, we always have extra of that hair mask, especially like we have come to in the kids' bathroom.
And like the other thing, like people ask me, well, did you have these in your salon? Absolutely. And the other great thing about it is like they were exclusive to me, right? My clients would come in and they're like, oh, I tried to find that product at, you know, Ulta and I couldn't find it. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to find it there. And I like that because I'm like, I want them to come back to me. So yes, these are professional quality products that, you know, can be used obviously in a professional establishment like a salon or, you know, whatever you want to say for that. So, all right. So this is a newer product. And again, I feel like it's kind of not talked about enough. This is Control the Day Heat and Humidity Cream. So what I love about this is it has AMA oil in, and AMA oil, actually, there's studies on that it gives like an anti-frizz effect. So they put it on like hair and they put it in 80% humidity. And it actually retained a lot of its shape yet and resisted a lot of the humidity versus hair that didn't have it in there.
Oh, wow.
So for those of you that have frizzy hair, you know that if you go outside and it's humid, your hair kind of starts to, you know, go like that. So it will, you know, reduce your frizz by a lot. But it's not only for frizzy hair, because then people are like, oh, my hair's not really that frizzy. It will actually protect your hair from the heat as well. So like I said earlier, like if you use a blow dryer, a curling iron, a flat iron, anything like that, and you're not putting something on to protect your hair from the heat, you are going to dry out your hair a lot faster. So this actually does go in wet hair. So it's a cream, but like what I like about it too is the cream doesn't have a lot of hold to it. So it doesn't get sticky on the hair. It's just like it's very creamy, but not thick. So it's easy to kind of distribute in the hair.
I agree. Yeah, I love that stuff. That's like the last step I do. So I only put products in my hair when it's wet. And then really I don't know, kind of just lasts until I wash it again. But that's the last step I do for a styling product. And to me, it's almost like a curl cream. I know that's not what it's meant for, but when I put it in, like I'll diffuse and dry my hair a little bit, and then after putting in some mousse or some gel, diffuse it and dry it, and then I'll scrunch in that heat and humidity cream. And it's activated with heat, right? So it kind of just like gives a really nice definition of my curl, and it makes it like a tighter curl also, like a curl cream would. But I love that it's soft, and like you said, like I've used every product out there, and I've spent money on every product out there because we have access to these and we've had them for so long, and I used them. But if I went and got my hair done and the expert was telling me try this or try that, I'd be like, okay, well maybe I'm missing something, you know?
Right.
And honestly, I always go back to these products, and nothing works better than these. I mean, I've used it all. I did really like the Paul Mitchell, I think it was, had the twirl around. I think it was like in a cool container. Anyway, that I really liked, but this I find works better. I like the texture. I like that it like dries quickly. It doesn't leave like that residue. It's not overly heavy, which a lot of those texture creams tend to be very heavy.
They usually are.
And it's awesome. But I imagine you could use it like, because it's heat activated, if people want to straighten their hair and they use it, they can do that.
It's for all hair types. So, you know, if you have fine hair, like you said, it's not going to weigh it down. So you don't have to be afraid of it, and it won't get sticky. So like, even when like you have it on your hands, like it's not sticky. Whereas I hate that when you have something on there and it's like, oh, I can't wait to like wash this off my hands. It's just like, ugh. So it does wash out really, really well too. But here's the thing that I do. I actually mix it with our next product. And our next product is the Argan Oil No Frizz. So you can actually mix them together, and I'll just mix them in my hands and then kind of work that through. And that's just because, again, my hair texture is like really coarse, frizzy, and I need all I can get on there. So I'll mix a little bit, and it's different each time. Like I'll just do like a squirt of this, and then I'll do like 2 pumps of this, mix it in, cocktail it, put it in my hair. So this product actually tames frizz and adds luster and shine. It will help improve elasticity and prevent split ends. This will also protect your hair from the heat somewhat as well, because this will kind of like evaporate off the hair as you use the heat before it'll make the moisture kind of evaporate out of your hair. So now that I'm talking about that, I always like to educate people on how hot they should have their irons, because a lot of people have them way too hot. And if you have your iron too hot for your hair type, it will definitely dry out your hair faster. You can also just create a lot more damage to the hair. And if you're not careful, I mean, I've seen people like singe their hair off.
Yes, I've seen that too. Like in videos that go viral, I've seen it. Not in person.
Yeah. But people don't know, right?
Traumatizing and terrible.
Yeah, because they're like, you know, I no one's ever taught me like how hot it should be. So I just crank it up. Like I just put it on the hottest because I think that that'll work better. Right. So if you have normal to fine hair, your iron or your flat iron should be between like 265 and 320 degrees. So like I recommend getting an iron that has an actual temperature control on it so that you can control the temperature.
Yeah, because most of the time it's like 1 through 10 or something. At least.
Yeah. So I would say that if it was like a 1 through 10, I would probably have it on like a 3 or 4 if you have like fine or normal hair. Now, if you have wavy or curly hair, 320 to 395 is going to be where you want your irons. And if you have coarse or thick hair, you can go from 395 all the way up to 430.
Oh my God.
But like I will tell you that like on my hair, I use 410 and that's enough for my hair. So like I would try not to go up to 430 if you have coarse hair, because, you know, again, like start out with a little bit less heat, see if it's enough, and you can always increase it a little at a time to kind of find where it is. But I will tell you that if you have like highlights or blonde pieces, even if you have coarse hair, that makes your hair a little bit more fragile and a little bit finer. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you have highlights, maybe go down to a lower temperature because you don't want to kind of dry out that hair any faster than it needs to be.
That makes sense.
The other thing I love about this product is I will then put it in my hair when it's dry as well.
I do.
So you can use it wet or dry. So I mix it with my, you know, in my little cocktail. And then once my hair is dry, I'll curl it. I'll put a little bit more in my hands and just kind of break apart my curls like that. And like you can't, I haven't gotten to the point where I've used too much because it does like absorb into the hair somewhat. It's not like it's just an oil that sits on the hair and makes it greasy.
Yeah.
I guess you could probably use too much, but
one time my daughter did. She like saturated her hair with it, and I was like, she used like a whole bottle. Like she was trying to make it look like that.
Yeah.
But no, I agree, and I think if there are times where you find like sometimes I'm brushing, and if I add too much, say mousse to my hair, and then I'm blow drying and stuff, sometimes when you're done, it feels sticky or even crunchy, depending on the product that you're using. Like usually I'll do my hair first. Like I blow dry it and I put some styling product in, and then I go put my makeup on, so I'm not like hot and sweaty with my makeup, and do my hair. Anyway, and then that's the last step for me. So where I feel like it's getting a little hard, or there's maybe too much product buildup, or where it's extra frizzy, of course. But really I just put it everywhere, but I'll put it and just massage it everywhere. And I'll flip my head over and get it kind of underneath or at the sides, like places sometimes you forget to put product, you know? And it just gives it a really nice, soft finish, because sometimes when we're layering product, that's what we sacrifice. Is like you might get the look and the style, but then it's kind of hard to the touch, you know?
Yeah, and even on the days, obviously I don't shampoo, like I'll still kind of go through and recurl my hair, and then I'll work this through again. So I'm putting this on like every day, and it's still good. And like it will help repair those ends a little bit. So, you know, make sure that you get it on there. I always get like really, like I'm curlier underneath, so I get a little bit more frizzy under there as well. So kind of work it in there as well. And like, honestly, I haven't found anything that I like better than this, because everything is usually a little bit too greasy for me, whereas this one, it just really isn't. So absolutely.
Luxurious.
It's very luxurious. So yeah, so that's my hair care routine, like basically.
Yeah, I love it. My one eye is not stopping watering. Allergy season, yay!
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was very insightful and educationally. Thank you. I've been watching for Q&A. People are quiet today, so I think we're good on that front.
Okay. Yeah. And you know, honestly, like if you haven't tried one of the products I talked about, I encourage you to try it, because then you know what it does, and then you can talk about it a little bit more. And like, honestly, I feel like every single product I talked about could be used on any hair type.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. So yeah, give them a try, and hopefully you'll love them as much as I do. And the prices, I didn't mention the prices, but compared to most professional products on the market, I feel that they are a lot reasonably priced, more so than other things I've used, which is always nice too. And especially when we have a sale like that, and that's actually retail cost, the 25, was it $25.90? $24.25.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that crazy? Like,
that's awesome.
I guess
it is a good time to try, and they're good gifts. And I feel like in the summer, you know, we need a little bit more help sometimes, because you are in the chlorine if you're swimming a lot more, or you're out in the sun more, or, you know.
Oh, here's another tip. If you're gonna go in chlorine, I suggest that you get your hair wet first, because remember, your hair is like a sponge, right? So if your hair is dry and you go in chlorine and your hair gets wet, it's gonna absorb so much more chlorine than if your hair was wet. Okay. So if you can put it up.
Swimmers do that, like they shower before they get in the pool, and that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, if you're like going in the ocean or something like that, then I tell people to actually put conditioner on their hair and go in like that. In a pool, you probably don't want to do that, because it can like affect, you know, the chemicals and stuff like that. Right. But you know what salt water does to your hair. It can just kind of make it, you know, because of the pH and stuff. So yeah, like get your hair wet, and you'll notice that it won't absorb as much of that chlorine, especially if you have blonde hair, because chlorine can make it look green.
Yeah.
So you don't want that. But even if it's not blonde, it can definitely affect the dryness of your hair and the frizziness, and just feel like it feels almost slimy in the hair when you have a lot of chlorine buildup. So,
well, thank you for all your knowledge, and thanks
yeah,
for joining us. And try the product and post it on social media, and let us know if you have questions or testimonials that you want to share after all you've learned.
awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody.